Hi YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Investing in the Rockies. And in today's episode, I'm going to be discussing one Canadian stock that I think should be in everyone's portfolio. Just before we get stuck into today's stock pick, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my subscribers. I'm sitting on 220 so far, and watching that number tick up over the last few weeks has been really great. So just thanks very much. Stay tuned. I'm on a journey to financial freedom. I'm going to document everything, and I want to give you at home some tips and tricks for your journey to financial freedom. So please, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for much more. So without further ado, the stock that I think should be in everyone's dividend stock portfolio is Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire is a mammoth company here in Canada. It has 1,686 stores across Canada, and it's not just Canadian Tire that you're investing in when you buy stock with Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire owns a multitude of companies such as Sport Chek, Marks and Atmosphere. It also owns Helly Hansen, I believe. I personally have actually lived in Canada now for over 2 years, and I can safely say that Canadian Tire, apart from the supermarket where I get my groceries, Canadian Tire is the most popular shop that I've shopped in throughout the last 2 years. So what does Canadian Tire sell? Well, it pretty much sells absolutely everything, from automotive parts to hardware to sports and leisure parts and to houseware appliances. You can get everything in Canadian Tire. Me personally, I buy all my camping equipment out of Canadian Tire. And remember, that's only what Canadian Tire sells. There are other stores such as Sports Chek. They sell everything to do with sports, from bikes to snowboards to skis, absolutely everything to do with sports. Then you've got that company Marks that they also own. Marks sells all sorts of clothing, from casual clothing to workwear such as helmets and boots. But one thing that I love about Canadian Tire is the fact that they don't just specialise in selling products. They actually provide a service as well, and that service is to do with cars. Lots of people bring their cars. Every Canadian Tire store has a car garage that you can bring your car in to get fixed. All sorts of fixes, from oil changes to tire changes. And these are things that you can't buy online, because it is true, the retail industry is down due to these massive companies such as Amazon. It's just so easy nowadays to go online and buy what you want online. But I feel that there's always going to be a need for Canadian Tire, mainly due to this service. You can't buy an oil change online. You can't really get your tires switched over online. This is all stuff that has to be done in store. Therefore, I believe Canadian Tire has an edge on most other retailers out there. So I hope I've been able to get across just how big this mammoth company is. But as usual, I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want to dive into the financials, and let's have a look at how Canadian Tire's been doing over the last number of years, and we'll also take a look at their dividends and what type of dividend you can expect with this company. So first, let's just have a quick look at the history of the Canadian Tire stock. So it trades here on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and its ticker symbol is CTC.A, and it currently is trading for 122 Canadian dollars. Canadian Tire first started off here in January 1995, and it traded at just over 12 Canadian dollars. And as you can see, throughout the last number of years, this has been an absolute powerhouse of a stock. It's just grown and grown and grown. Had its natural dips, like here's the 2008 housing crash in America. It obviously dipped quite a bit, but it's always recovered up and up and up to where it was trading at 100. It used to be trading at 175 Canadian dollars just back in July 2018, and then it had, we'll click the 5 years here. So this is the last 5 years. As you can see, due to the pandemic that's been going on in the world, it had a major fall. It was trading at 147, and it fell all the way down to $81, which is crazy. And since then, it's recovered very nicely all the way up to $122. But as you can see here, for a number of years before this pandemic, Canadian Tire was trading at a higher price than it is now. And I believe that in the next coming years, it'll get back to this price, and then it will continue to grow. So we're just going to have a quick look at Canadian Tire's financials. I use a website called seekingalpha.com. I'll leave that in the comments below. But I know this might look very scary, but we're only going to look at a few figures here. First of all, we're going to look at the total revenue, then we're going to look at the gross profit, and then we're going to look at the operating income. So for the total revenue, as you can see, and this value's in millions, but it starts off 8.8, 9.4, 9.8, 9.5, and 10.2, and then it goes down to 9.5. But I'm not too worried about the fact that it dips down right here, because this here, TTM, that stands for trailing 12 months. So that's the last 12 months figures, and that includes what's been going on with the world in terms of this pandemic. Canadian Tire has not suffered too badly with this whole pandemic. It hadn't suffered the way many other companies have suffered. Canadian Tire was actually seen as an essential business, and they were allowed to keep their doors open throughout all of this. Therefore, in that way, you can almost say that this stock's also recession proof. But as you can see, there is lovely growth in the total revenue. Same with gross profit, 2.73, 3.3, 3.2, 3.4, 3.2. Again, I see nice growth there. Operating income, 750, 819, 975, 944, 1100, 964. Again, you can see a really nice growth pattern here. This is what you want to see whenever you're picking out stocks for your portfolio. You don't want to see these numbers decreasing as the years go on. That kind of gives you alarm bells. But if these numbers are constantly going up throughout the years, that lets you know that this is a great stock. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to looking at the financial figures of Canadian Tire, we'll have a quick look at the dividend history here. So as you can see, at the minute, the dividend yield is 3.66%, which I think is great. That's a really great yield. The payout ratio here is 40%. That's a great payout ratio. For those of you that haven't watched my other videos, payout ratio is the percentage of the profits that the company is paying out to its investors. The lower this number is, the better, and 40% is a very healthy number. It can go all the way up to 100% or even higher than 100%, and that's how you know that their dividend isn't sustainable. That's how you know they're going to cut their dividends. But if they have a payout ratio here of 40%, that leaves room for growth. If anything, the Canadian Tire can grow their dividend. So the payout ratio at 40% is perfect. It's a quarterly paying dividend, so you'll get 4 payments a year, and the current last amount was 83 cents. So you get 83 cents 4 times a year for every stock that you own in Canadian Tire. And we'll just take a quick look at the dividend history. So Canadian Tire first started paying out a dividend back in 1989, and they paid a dividend of 6 cents. But as the years have went on, this dividend has grown nicely throughout the years, all the way up to what it is now at 83 cents per quarter per share. So I just see room for growth here. I think this is a great stock to get involved with. I think the payout ratio is low. I think they haven't been hit too hard by the pandemic. I think they have an edge from all the other retailers because of the service they provide in the automotive industry. Therefore, I think this is a great stock to add to your portfolio. So that's it for today's video, folks. I hope it didn't drag on too long. If you did make it all the way to the end, I would ask, could you please do me a massive favor? Hit this like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to be producing much more content. I'm going to be producing much more financial content, and I'm going to be producing much more vlogs of me living in Banff and in the surrounding area. Please as well, don't be afraid to give me some feedback. Leave a comment underneath if you like this video, and leave a comment underneath if you didn't like it. So I'll see everyone in the next episode. Take it easy, YouTube.